Psalm 91. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor the destruction that lays waste at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked. Because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place. No evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near you, your dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You shall tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent you shall trample underfoot. Because He has set His love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation.
I'm Lieutenant General Tom McInerney, retired U.S. Air Force, former Assistant Vice Chief of Staff of the U.S. Air Force. It has been a great honor for me to be on His Glory and to talk to Pastor Dave about what is happening in America. I cannot urge you enough to watch His Glory and what Pastor Dave has got the courage to have people that know what's going on and expose it and let America know, beware. Stand up, America. God bless you all.
Welcome to Take 5. I am your host, Kelly Hansen, and today we have a man on a mission to forever change the lives of children who have been robbed of their childhood and taken into captivity. But before we jump in, I have a few His Glory family announcements for you guys. I want to remind you that we are still raising money and asking for donations to our hurricane relief funds. In the wake of the devastation caused by Hurricane Helene and Florida's Hurricane Milton, His Glory Ministry has launched a relief fund to provide vital supplies such as food, water, and other necessities to those affected by this disaster. Please donate today at hisglory.me/donate. And if you would like to volunteer, we still need lots of volunteers. You can email info@hisglory.me. We've also set up a option for you to purchase and donate Kingdom Fuel and Kingdom Candy for 30% off so that we can make sure that those affected still have access to a good source of nutrition. Now, if you're looking to enjoy the nutritious value of our Kingdom line as well, we are currently having our Fall Kingdom sale. From now until November 5th, you can get the entire Kingdom line for 20% off. The entire Kingdom line can help you to stay healthy and store up for emergencies. If you're a crazy mama like me, you know how much those Kingdom candies come in valuable need. So go ahead. They're available at hisglory.me/shop. And while you're in our His Glory shop, check out our prayer kits. Take possession of your land with the prayer kit bundle available at hisglory.me/shop. And you guys, lastly, we are waiting for you. Are you ready to join us for the adventure of a lifetime? Experience the breathtaking sights of the Holy Land by joining us in Israel from December 6th through the 14th. Can't think of a better Christmas present if you want to go ahead and donate that to somebody. But for more information, visit hisglory.me/IsraelTrip1. Now, today we have with us Bryan. Dave and his wife, Cheryl, have been the ministry team leaders of the Church of Glad Tidings in Yuba City, California since 1987, and the ministry team leaders of the Embassy of Heaven, Yuba City, since its inception in 2009. The Church of Glad Tidings is an interdenominational local church that has become a model to many in promoting foreign missionary endeavors worldwide and in meeting urgent needs in their community. For decades, they and their team have inspired many by pioneering innovative strategies. Dave and Cheryl are known for taking in the poor and needy into their home, including gang members and the homeless, and loving them back to life. You guys, a dramatic conflict with the highest level leaders in the Church of Satan in 1997 thrust Dave and Cheryl into the forefront as well-respected trainers in both harassment, oppression level, and occult level deliverance. And we'll talk a lot more about that. What is deliverance, right, Dave? But Dave, thank you for being with us today. How are you guys doing out there in Yuba?
We're doing really great, Kelly. Thank you for asking. Things are going well.
Now, you guys have been incredibly busy. So I want to start off, if you can give our viewers just a little background of what you and your wife have been doing, you know, for the last few decades, just reaching out to your community, how you've been really at the forefront of creating strategies for people to help worldwide and some of these needs that we know the government's not going to get involved in. What have you guys been up to the last few decades with your church as a you know, bundled wife and husband? What have you guys been doing?
Well, our ministry motto from the time we got here, which, as you said, was 1987, but the ministry motto is find a need and meet it, find a hurt and heal it. And really, that's what we've focused all of our energy on. And so for decades, we were doing drug rehabs and helping teen runaways and rescuing babies. We had a program called Babies Out of Bondage to keep babies from going into the state system as wards of the state. In California, it's almost impossible to ever get them back. And so, you know, that's what we do, is we just look for anything that is wrong in the community and then ask ourselves the famous question, what would Jesus do about that? And so that's taken us into prisons and juvenile halls and hospitals and mental health wards and on and on and on, because there are a lot of needs. But what happened to us just in this last decade is suddenly people noticed what we had been doing since 1987. And so that's attracted a lot of attention. The COVID con, of course, we didn't shut down during the COVID con. And so we became a West Coast host for lots of people, big names like General Flynn and Dinesh D'Souza and Candace Owens. And we're not a huge venue. We can fit about 1,000 people in our biggest building. But we were open and everybody else was closed. And so that catapulted us onto a whole different scene in interfacing with, I think, the big names and what's moving and shaking on the planet. And so that's really redefined our relationships. Of course, the COVID con, as we call it, because it was a con job on the entire world, but it redefined people's relationships very widely. So the people that I thought would probably stand with me, other local churches and other local pastors, they turned against us because they were all aligned with the state. And we began to meet all kinds of new people, many of the doctors, Judy Mikovits and Henry Ely, and all the doctors that were standing up, Bryan Artist and Jane and David Martin. So that put us into a whole new realm for us, Kelly, and we began to invest into social media and of course some of the things we have done and continue to do, which is meeting urgent needs in the community, drug rehab, alcohol rehab, all those kind of things. But in addition to that, we've become a hub for information on what's happening in America. And we've become a conference center on the West Coast. And so we do a lot of that. The COVID con also pulled down the covers for people to see how dire a condition we were in terms of, most people for decades, most of their life, they thought the American government was good and that they would help you, that they were for you, and you could trust doctors, and surely everything would be all right in the long run. But during the COVID con, when they were caught hands down lying to people about follow the science when there was no science, and on and on. So that was a watershed moment for us, Kelly, and we decided to create a hub, the Embassy of Heaven, which you mentioned, but we decided to create a hub where it was on earth as it was in heaven, where we weren't encumbered by the California government or by any of the liberal things that were going on in education or medicine or anything else. But we just began to create a hub where we could live together and live good lives, take care of our kids, bring them up the training and admonition of the Lord without worrying about what California school systems were doing. And so one of the big emphases lately is medicine, what we can do to help people who have lost faith in Western medicine. And then the latest and greatest of our the things that we're championing is we're trying to save kids that are involved in sex trafficking, knowing that there's no safe place really in California. Certainly Child Protective Services is not a safe place for kids. And so we've got a lot of plates spinning, a lot of things happening. So there you have it.
Well, and it's encouraging, and everybody that you mentioned before, those doctors or those big heads, talking heads, those are all friends of His Glory family. We absolutely adore them. They've been doing so much good work. I'm glad that you guys are teaming up with them. It sounds like you guys have been busy, and I really do want to talk a lot about what you guys are doing with peaceofheaven.life when we come back. But I want you to know, everything that you said about getting people together, making sure that we understand what's going on, what's happening in medicine, what's happening in our schools, what are our kids being fed, and you guys are in California. So I just want to point that out. California is awake. There are many out there who still love Jesus and are doing some good works. And Pastor Dave, I am excited to come back and talk so much more with you about what you guys are currently doing. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Pastor Dave Bryan.
When it comes to feeling, working, and performing your best, blood circulation is quite literally the river of life.
The doctors at the Cleveland Clinic said I would never get the feeling back in my left side of my leg. You could literally take a knife to my left thigh and I wouldn't feel it. They basically said, you're a miracle to be alive. There's no way you're going to recover. The very first time I got on the Beamer, I could start feeling it. And then when I got on it more and more and more, I feel my toes now. I feel my thigh back again.
In 2 8-minute sessions a day, Beamer can boost general blood flow and circulation, increase oxygen delivery to your cells, improve rest and relaxation. And the best part? You can get these results while relaxing on your couch, in bed, or in your hotel room. Beamer. Better circulation, better health, better life.
In 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage on all 3 of the major networks, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Welcome back to Take 5, His Glory family. We have Pastor Bryan with us. He's doing a lot. His church is awake. He's a pastor who is willing to get his hands dirty in this society and say, no, we will not bow down to Newsom, gruesome Newsom. We're going to stand up. We're going to do what's right for our congregants. We're going to do what's right for our flock, no matter what it takes. I really applaud that, Pastor Dave. And so I want to ask you a question. You have been bold. Like you said, you went through what I call the plandemic, the COVID con, in your words, and you woke up, you saw what was happening, you saw the tyranny of the government. Why is it that there are so many pastors, even in these huge conglomerate churches, who are not waking up and saying, you know what, we're going to stand up, we're going to speak truth, whether it costs us with our nonprofit or our funds, from the government? Why aren't so many more getting in line with you and taking that stance?
Well, this is obviously my opinion, Kelly, but the simple truth is that most of what happens in America is not about promoting the kingdom of God, which is righteousness, peace, joy, the power of the Holy Spirit. Most of what happens, I call the great American religious enterprise. And it's less noble than most enterprises because it's done in the name of God, but it's really just a business. People are trying to one-up the church down on the corner. They have lattes. We have lattes with whipped cream. They're just trying to figure out something that's values added. They are most focused on trying to get more people, more butts in the pews. And really the focus of that is the money that comes from those people. And I know that probably sounds like a critical review, but it's not my first rodeo, kid. I've been around a long time. And pastors lack the courage to do the right thing because they ask questions that no person of integrity should ask, like, what will it cost me? You do the right thing because it's the right thing, not because you profit some way from it. It's the right thing. And so if they had the courage to do that, of course, everything would be different. But with the COVID con, or the plandemic, as you call it, pastors were asking, how will this impact me? Will people leave the church? Will I lose my 501c3? Many of them ask me that. Well, what if you lose your 501c3? What if? And honestly, I don't think we can afford to care about what if. We just need to ask ourselves, does this please Christ? Does this promote the values and the virtues of the kingdom? So I think the big thing that's lacking, Kelly, is simple courage.
Now, we also see that in about 12 or 13 days, we are going to have the general election. It's going to be a big one. What are your thoughts on getting Christians involved? We see the statistics out there. It's somewhere between 30 and 50% of Christians actually vote. What is it going to take? What can some of the, pastors listening right now, what can they do to encourage their congregation to get out and vote?
Well, they can do what we do. We've had a table set up in the back of the church for the last 10 weeks, 12 weeks probably. And every service we say, it's your Christian duty to vote. And we have tables in the back. And if you're not registered, we'll register you. And most pastors lack the courage to do that. They just want to be passive. And if you're passive, then the result is always less than it should be. And so they need to begin to talk to their people about things that matter. Many pastors still think they should allow people to vote just nilly-willy, whatever they want. People vote for the best-looking candidate or just ridiculous thing. They vote on personality. They don't vote on policy, and they don't vote on principle. And pastors should be addressing that. They should be addressing it very clearly and very loudly instead of being passive. So when you say, and I know it's true, Kelly, when you say that there are many churches that the congregants aren't registered to vote, I view that as pastoral failure. Why aren't the shepherds telling them this is important? This is important for our lives, it's important for our children. You know, the Bible says, pray for those that are in authority, that so that you could live good and godly lives. And, you know, if we get bad leaders, we all suffer. Pastors should be addressing that.
Yeah, and we see that, don't we, here in California? It's unbelievable with Newsom and with the lockdowns that happened for us. It was not as gruesome across the nation. We saw that he was even crazier about, you know, those laws. So we also have noticed with the Biden-Harris administration, here especially again in California, but across the nation, that there has been an incredible border crisis. We have a lot of child trafficking that has come out of that. So I would be remiss, Pastor Dave, if we don't spend the rest of our time really talking about what you guys have found, what came onto your plate recently where you decided to step up to the plate again and say, we're going to take care of this problem. We found a hurt. We found a need. You know, we're going to take care of it. What's your saying again?
Right. Find a need and meet it.
Yeah,
find a hurt and heal it.
Exactly. And you guys are taking that mission right now with child trafficking, with Piece of Heaven, Life, where you guys are creating a children's paradise. You're working with Mission Safe Harbor. Tell us a little bit about how that came about and what you guys are doing now.
Okay. Well, like everything else, it came out of our mission statement. What is the most urgent need? And for those that don't know this yet, child trafficking has eclipsed the international drug trade as the #1 means of black money. It generates more money than all the drug trades put together. And it's a terrible evil, and it's worldwide. And so we got slapped in the face with that. And without all the details, I have a contact in the military that rescued some kids and then didn't have a safe place to take them. And those kids, after just a few days of being rescued from child trafficking, were back in the hands of California Protection, the Child Protection Agencies of California. And there may be some good people, I'm sure there are, that work for them, but the CPS traffics children all the time. And you can't make ridiculous statements like we've lost 300,000 kids. That is ludicrous. You can't lose 300,000 babies or marbles, much less children. But anyway, it's very, very dark. And so when those kids were rescued and the military called us and asked for help, and we didn't have a place to take them. And so we just said, we're not going to let that happen again. We're going to find a place for these kids to go. We found an abandoned women's prison. It was a minimum security women's prison, just 5 miles from our property. And we negotiated with them, talked them down from $17 million to $4 million. And that was their bottom line. And we said, we're going to raise the money. We're going to transform it from a prison to a paradise. And we're going to make it so beautiful that the richest parents that drive by wish their kids could get inside. And we're going to rescue these kids out of the jaws of hell. These kids, they have experienced hell. And we're going to take them right out of that and let them experience heaven. We're going to love them, educate them, help them with all of their needs, just like any parent needs to do to a child. And we're really excited about it. It's a big, big project, and we need everybody's help. But I think of all the things we've ever done, Kelly, and these nearly 40 years of pastoring, this is the most urgent need. We know it's closest to the heart of God. Jesus tells us how he feels about anyone that would violate a child. And so we're really excited and know that we have a sense of divine pleasure in fulfilling this urgent need.
And, you know, I want everybody listening right now, they do need help financially. So you're going to have a chance once it is open to volunteer to help out in that manner. But if you are listening and you I'm going to be giving my tithe. You guys had that telethon before, Pastor, and I went ahead and I'm going to be donating our tithe every single month because I cannot think of something more important that is more God honoring than to protect those who are the weakest. So I just want those who are listening, please just consider giving your tithe. If you're already giving that 10%, you can give your tithe. We all need hands on deck. There are some people out there trying to go and find these kids. Now we need a safe place for them to land when they get back. So it is such an incredible mission that you guys are doing. Where can people go and get more information and also donate?
Yeah, it's Peace of Heaven. Remember, there's 2 ways to spell peace. This is like the 70s. peaceofheaven.life. peaceofheaven.life. You can hit the donate button, and we need some major donors. We need people that will really invest into this, but we need every dollar. There's also a place for you to volunteer your time and your help, and we need to raise up an army of people who love kids and love God and want to make a difference in these kids' lives. So you can find all that at peaceofheaven.life.
And you guys go and look at some of the stories and the testimonials. It is incredible. I don't think that all of us fully understand what's going on and how much of a hold Satan has in certain lives. And I love what you guys have talked about before. We've had Charlita on. She's such a wonderful grandma talking about the blood of Jesus is stronger than the blood that has been shed by these children, that these adults have taken, these innocent, and they've shed their blood. And I mean, it's so heart-wrenching to hear that they found a whole boat full of kids and they were written on, whether it was sex or whether it was organ they were going to take. It is just absolutely heart-wrenching. So thank you for all that you're doing. Thanks for being with us today, Pastor Dave.
You're very welcome. Thanks for the opportunity to share, Kelly.
Absolutely. And everybody else, please go to peaceofheaven.life. That's peace like a peace sign. Get involved. Do what you can. Just go out and love those around you today. Have a wonderful one.